Hello and welcome. We appreciate you joining us here today. We will be getting started on the top of the hour, so grab that last second coffee refill or something to take some notes with, and we will see you in just a few minutes. Hello and welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Today's webinar is all about donor management best practices featuring GiveSmart Donor CRM. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a moment to meet today's host and speaker. My name is Madison Keltman, and I am a marketing campaign manager for GiveSmart. Our expert today is Nikki Kashub, our director of donor management solutions and a founder of our donor CRM. Nikki, thank you for taking the time to be here with us.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Madison. Yeah, my name is Nikki. Oh, let me get my camera turned on for you guys. Oh, wait, never mind. I'll keep it turned off. So I'm one of two co-founders for GiveSmart Donor CRM, and my business partner and I have over 40 years of combined experience in the donor management software industry. During that time, I picked up a couple of donor management best practice tips and tricks from analyzing donation data, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of this advice with you today. Today, we're going to talk about how a CRM can help your organization manage its donor data, and we'll take some time to demonstrate some of those examples within GiveSmart Donor CRM. Before we go any further, I'd like to tell you a story about how GiveSmart Donor CRM got started. Once upon a time, a long time ago, a group of nonprofit industry experts put their heads together to come up with a solution better than the standard donor database. The goal was to bring a simple, easy to use, and fun donor management software tool to small and smart nonprofits, enabling anyone within the nonprofit community to get into their own software to do what they need to do and get on with their day. Oh, I can turn my camera on now. Cool. Hi,
Yay,
guys.
it worked. Okay. Sorry. Small difficulty. There we go.
No worries. So whether you are a development director, a board member, volunteer, or all-in-one world changer, you'll find you can easily navigate Donor CRM. After all, GiveSmart Donor CRM was built by fundraisers for fundraisers. Madison, could you change the slide for me, please?
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So that group of nonprofit industry experts set out to learn what would make donor management software better for nonprofit employees. They confirmed some expectations like the need for easy reporting and uncovered some surprising pain points that few donor management software tools have taken the time to address. When that group polled nonprofit employees, they were surprised to find that the #1 complaint of donor management software was logging in. And #2 was equally enlightening to learn. Searching for donors was a point of contention. I'm telling you this story because it's easily overlooked when you consider the features you need in your CRM. In addition to being able to log in without challenges like forgetting your password or getting timed out, you need to be able to enter your data quickly and easily. Your search bar needs to work more intelligently. Your dashboard needs to reflect important statistics, and you need to be able to measure the affinity of your donors to help drive your stewardship efforts. Next slide, please. Before we get into our demo today, I have a question for everybody. So I'd like to know if you're aware, what is your current donor retention rate? I'll give everyone a moment to chime in here.
Yeah, and while everyone is filling out the poll, I just wanted to jump in and say real quick that today's call is being recorded. So everyone attending will get the recording, and our colleague Richard is helping us out on the back end. So if you have any questions as we go, or comments, ideas, feedback, please throw those into the chat or the Q&A box, and we will either address your questions live or save them for the Q&A at the end. But I think that bought us some time while everyone finishes the poll.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah. 67% participation rate. Nice job, guys.
Love that. All right. Results shared.
Yeah, so it looks like the majority of people fall between 40 and 60%, which is what I expected. The industry average hovers between 40 and 42%. So let's take a minute to talk about what that means to you. If your donor base had an average annual giving amount of $1,000 per donor per year, and your donor retention rate was 40%, that would mean each donor was worth $1,666 to you over the course of their lifetime as your donor. Now, if your donor retention rate was 60%, that same average $1,000 per year donor would be worth $2,500 over the course of their lifetime. So that's almost $1,000 more per donor just by raising your retention rate from 40% to 60%. There is one thing that you can do today to increase that retention rate, and that's going to be the first tip I give you as we move through the demonstration today. So I'm going to steal the screen here. Give me a second to set myself up. All right. Madison, can you see my screen okay?
Yep, looks great.
Great, perfect. So if you'll remember, I was telling you the story of how people really had issues with logging into their donor management system. So one of the first things that we did was remove the need for passwords. With Donor CRM, it works similarly to how Facebook works. When you go to facebook.com from a device that you usually use, the device remembers you and you don't have to log in every single time. So that's how we work. We've also removed the need for timeouts or password resetting. And as an admin, you can always kick other users out if you feel like having a little fun. So from there, as soon as you get into the system, it will take you to your dashboard, and the dashboard is going to show you some key metrics like the amount of money you've raised to date, your donor retention rate, more importantly, your donor annual revenue retention rate. So this is showing you of the donors you had last year, how many of them did you keep? And this is showing you of the dollars you raised last year, how much of them did you keep? So this is important. Your donor retention rate is important, but it's not an entire picture. This really helps bring some color to that screen. You also have some quick actions here where you can invite somebody quickly. You've got your key statistics as recommended by the AFP-FEP, the Association of Fundraising Professionals Fundraising Effectiveness Project. These are the type of details you might want to have handy when you go into a board meeting, which I should mention that this is all mobilely optimized. So if you need to get in and out quickly to refresh yourself on what these numbers are, you'll always have access to that. Going down the screen, you have your most recent donors, followed by your activities. Now, as a user, I'll log in and see the activities that are assigned to me. Somebody else who has access to my system will see different activities, but I do have a way to see all activities and assign things to other users, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Further down, I've got my year-over-year comparison and my donor heat map to show me donors nearby my current location. From here, I'm going to pop on over into that search bar. Now, I really love this search bar. It's something that we spent a lot of time and thought trying to improve the way search bars within donor management software works. So this is really as close to a Google search as you can get to a donor database. I can butcher a name by searching for Harry. I can search for Hogwarts, and anybody who's associated with Hogwarts will show up. I can search for Ginny, and Harry Potter and Ginny Weasley show up, as well as just Ginny. But what I really love about this is if somebody were to send me a check, a $5,000 check, and I entered that into the database earlier in the day, I walked away from my computer, had lunch, came back to my desk, and I thought, shoot, who was that donor that donated $5,000? I can just type in 5,000, and the system allows me to search not just by donors, but by gifts and different types of transactions as well. But for now, I'm going to pop on into Hermione's record. The next thing I'd like to point out here is the Smart Donor Score. This is really going to be the heart and the wallet of your donor. So the Smart Donor Score here is a number that is calculated based on information within your database. It's the affinity. How much activity is this person taking with your organization that's not necessarily financially related? Further down, we do integrate with donor search, and all clients get access to the donor search rating and the estimated gift capacity. Now, this is the number for a one-time gift that somebody can give based on what they've given to other nonprofits. The idea here is, let's say Hermione had an estimated gift capacity of $1,000, but her average gift amount is $40. Well, we would know that she's able to give more to us, and we should invest some time into developing that relationship. Scrolling down further, we have a couple of key metrics across the top of the screen and some standard fields that you would come to expect from a donor profile. We do have tags for easy segmentation and contact methods, different addresses, custom fields. You get the idea. From here, I'm going to pop over onto gifts, and I can see her giving history. We do have the ability for pledges as well for those recurring gifts, and activities for transactions that aren't financially related. So emails, phone calls, volunteer hours, grant activity, all that stuff gets logged under activities. I'm going to go into the gifts tab, and I'm going to click add new to add a new gift to Hermione. Now, let me just double check my outline here of what we were going to talk about today. All right, so while we're adding this gift here, I'd like to point out that gift entry is probably one of the most important parts of donor management software. It's super important. There's a ton of details, a ton of fields, and oftentimes that can become very overwhelming, even though all of those fields are important. So what we've done here is taken gift entry and broken it down into bite-sized pieces. And we've taken it from a need to know stage through to a nice to know stage. So as you enter data, data is going to change, or the fields are going to change based on the information you've entered previously. So for example, if I were to choose stock, I might see something like value of the asset sold. But I wouldn't need to see that field when I'm choosing cash or check. So we'll stick with cash or check for now. And we've got our gift date. Our gift amount is going to be for $750. The solicitation method will be let's make it the end of year owl post. The general ledger, we're going to make that unrestricted since everybody knows that's the best kind of gift. But keep in mind, all these codes will be unique to your organization, and these ones in particular can match the codes that you have in your accounting software. Hermione is asked to be thanked by both letter and email. So I've got her address here, and then I'm going to choose myself as the email so you can see what that looks like. If there is a campaign associated, we can select that. If somebody solicited this gift on our behalf, we can select that. Any notes or sub-solicitation, maybe if this was a part of an event or a raffle ticket or something along those lines. Custom fields. And a summary. So I'm going to eyeball this. This all looks good to me. I'm going to hit next, and bam, the system's going to celebrate us and moving the needle in the right direction with confetti. So before I go any further, I just have a quick question for everybody again via poll. How quickly do you, or how frequently do you send out your thank you letters? And while you guys are answering that poll, I can see a question came through. Where does that estimated gift capacity information come from? That information comes directly from Donor Search, and Donor Search collects that information from publicly available information out on the internet, whether that be annual reports, just information that's out there. They are adding information, millions of transactions daily into their proprietary database. All right, so it looks like most of you are sending out your thank you letters weekly, which is good to see. Some of you are doing it whenever you happen to get to them, which I know the feeling. And some of you are quarterly and some of you are monthly. So next, I'd like to deliver on that tip I promised you. We were talking about donor retention earlier and how the industry average hovers between 40 and 42%. Donors who are thanked the same day the gift is received have a retention rate of 60.9%. So if you had an easier, faster way to do your thank you letters, in theory, you'd be able to increase your donor retention rates with minimal effort. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and thank Hermione for the gift that she was given. And you know what? I was messing around earlier so that I could have a couple of samples ready to go. And I think I accidentally undid what I wanted to show you. Oops. All right, so let's go back into our thank you letters. There we go. There we go. We have the gift from Hermione for $750 right there, ready to go for us. And I have a couple of other just samples in here to show you what a group of thank you letter batch looks like. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and just show you, I do have several different kinds of templates that I can use. I'm going to stick with the standard acknowledgement. If I wanted to edit them, I could click on the pencil. It's a pretty standard word editor, but I'm going to show you editing in a one-off situation. The next step shows me the five different thank you letters I have ready to go. I had 3 actual letters, but 2 emails. And if I wanted to go in and edit maybe just one of these, let's edit Hermione's email, and we'll go in and say, let's meet for coffee soon. All right, save that. Oh, and I can configure this as well if I want to put more details in there. Save that. This looks good. Next step is confirm and send. So we're about to email 2 thank you letters and create 3 thank you letters via PDF. That sounds good. We're going to click to download our PDF. And do we want to print envelopes? Yes, absolutely. I would like to do that. Next, just like before, I can edit this. We do have several different envelope templates depending on what your needs are, but you can change the look and feel of this however you'd like. We'll hit next. We'll print those envelopes, click to download, and we're finished. Bam, more fireworks. So here I've got the letters that I had just sent through. And as you can see, you can put images in there. You can change the font. You can put signatures in there, whatever you'd like to make that look as unique to your organization as you prefer. And then when you're done, you can load up your printer with your envelopes and spit those guys out. So from here, let's talk about tip number 2 in donor management software best practices. I don't have a poll for this one, but just something to think about. How long do you typically wait before you ask for the next donation? Now, I've done a lot of research on this. There's a lot of different points of thought, but the best quote I've seen on this came from Next After. And they said that common fundraising practice holds off on holds off on making the next ask for 2 to 6 months after a donation. However, new donors are most likely to give a second donation or become a recurring donor within the first 45 days of their first donation. So start laying the foundation for your next ask in your thank you letter template to steward long-term donors. So right now, I just showed you how to run thank yous, but maybe you want to reach out to your donors, not necessarily thanking them, but asking for a donation. For there, I'm going to pop on over to collect donations. Let's say, now earlier we were talking about tags. I mentioned that you can segment your donors. Maybe I wanted to send out an email to all of my board members. And you know what? I think I want to reach out to my volunteers as well for this same email. And you can see we just selected 6 of our 9 donors selected have valid email addresses. So the system automatically removes the ones that don't have valid email addresses, and I can send those 6 donation requests. But before I do that, I also want to point out filters. So let me get rid of this and clear this out for you. Clear page. So let's say maybe we wanted to reach out to everybody who's donated this year. And you can create filters. We've got tons of standards in here, but you can always create your own. But what I really love about our filters is sometimes it's easier to filter for the people you don't want. Maybe you're thinking, you know what, I just did a solicitation to all the people who donated this year. I really want to solicit everyone else. Okay, let's just invert the filter and get everybody else on the list. So that's a possibility as well. So I could select all of these. And again, that updates the number for us because we don't have not all of them are valid email addresses. We'll go ahead and click on send 29 donation requests. And here we can set up an online form if we wanted to include an online form in this particular donation request. So I'm going to just name this one add full donations. And we're going to call this one a personal ask because we're reaching out to these people via email. And again, just like before, we can set up those parameters for our gift. Now, you can write your own email. You can set up different templates. I'm going to stick with a template that I've already created here called Magic for Muggles. And this is a solicitation asking people to make a donation so that we can recruit Muggles to our Quidditch teams. I do want to point out tip number 3 here. If you're able to customize your emails, your contacts, your outreach, the more customization you can do, the better. But if you can customize your subject lines, donors are 54% more likely to open an email when the subject includes personalization. So our system does allow for merge fields in that subject line. And all you have to do to get to your merge options is type the pound key to see what those options are. But from here, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And I've got all those people that I'm sending this out to. And just like with before, I can make adjustments if maybe there's one that I wanted to add a little personal blurb to. I can continue setting this up. I'm going to bypass this since I've already set it up to show you a sample, and I'm going to send this as a test to myself. All right, so now I should have an email here. Here we go. Well, that was our thank you letter email. Let's give it a second here to load. Well, while we're waiting, I can point out that thank you letter that came through with a donation for Hermione, dear Hermione, donation of $750. But anyway, you'll be able to send out those emails, and that automatically gets logged within the donor record. There we go. I thought I just heard it come through. We'll give it another few minutes. Anyway, so moving on from here, I wanted to, let me just double check to see if there are any other questions that came through. It looks like we're good from what I can see. All right, Madison, I'm going to hand it back off to you now.
All right, sounds good. I will take back over the screen. And I know you wanted to talk about the GiveSmart suite.
Oh, you're right.
So let's see, does my screen look all right?
Yes, thank you.
Good. All right, so go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
So I'm excited to have had the opportunity to talk to you all about GiveSmart Donor CRM today. Donor CRM is a part of the GiveSmart suite of products, including tools to drive fundraising as well as manage your events. Our suite of products is meant to work hand in hand with many different software tools in the marketplace, and we're actively working to bring more conveniences to our clients every day with additional integrations. Now that we've drilled down into Donor CRM, I'd like to take a chance to talk about the foundation of our tools. Software is a lot like footwear. You wouldn't go for a run with hiking boots and expect to get the same kind of mileage as you would with a pair of sneakers. Using the right tools for the job ensures you'll get the most efficiency for your efforts. Considering the use case of accounting software alongside donor management software, you can expect donor management software to help you identify trends in your donor history, helping you to determine who you should be reaching out to and why you should be reaching out to them, what forms of contact they're the most responsive to, and how much money you should be asking them for and how frequently you should be reaching out. The purpose of donor management software is to help you manage your donor relationships and save time while raising more money, whereas the purpose of accounting software is to help you manage your books. And that's it. I think that was my last slide.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we keep going here, I'll take a quick pause so that you can take a breather for a minute and we can take the pulse of the room. As a reminder, we are recording the call and we will be sending it out to everyone attending within the next 24 hours or so, and that will include the recording as well as some of the resources we're sharing in the chat. So if you and your organization are considering GiveSmart, whether that's fundraise, events, donor CRM, or the entire suite, please let us know if we can provide you with more information, if we can give you a tour or a demo of the platform for your organization, whatever that might look like for you. Let us know if you'd like any of the options in this poll. And Nikki, would you mind, while the poll is going, just touching on what the roadmap looks like for the CRM integration with GiveSmart Fundraising, GiveSmart Events?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't mean to talk about it. I totally forgot. So we right now have a button that you click that's going to create a no nonsense file with no data massage from either events or fundraise. And then you could feed that file directly into Donor CRM. You don't even need to open the file. You could just feed it right in. Step 2, which is actively being worked on, is automating that file going from CRM and going from events and fundraise into CRM, so you don't need to press the button. And step 3 is bringing everything into one true infrastructure. So the team is actively working towards that. We should have the automation done, I would say, in the next couple of months, with the first early stages of the full, complete, close your eyes and it just works type of solution before the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so exciting. Like, I know we're very, very excited about that. And in bringing on GiveSmart fundraising, GiveSmart donor CRM within the last year or so, these integrations are underway. They are going. We are very excited about them. And step by step, we will get to a seamless place of integration, which we're really excited about.
And I'm just
Um,
looking through now. I saw a couple of questions come through. Madison, I don't mean to cut you off. I just didn't see them when they
yeah,
were coming through earlier.
yeah,
Does
we're in the Q&A, so let's go for
Yeah.
it.
So does this connect with Salesforce, and how so? Well, we don't directly connect Donor CRM with Salesforce. We do have the ability to create exports, which can be used with a variety of different tools at this time. So my favorite example, let me just turn my screen back on.
Go for it.
So my favorite example is under reports, and we'll look at the segmented financial summary. And I'm going to segment this summary by general ledger, and I'm running it for the year as it is. And I can take this report right here. I can export it. I can click here to download to Excel and export it. And this will be the information that I want to feed directly to my accountants so they can reconcile what's in their books. So lots of different options for kind of using the software as is with other tools while we're working on more direct integrations, including if you wanted to create exports of emails to use with your Constant Contact or MailChimp. And also, I just noticed one of my very first clients is on the call today, David Babcock from OGs Against Violence. Wow, what a throwback. Thanks for being here, Dave.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
I think, Dave, you were like my second or third client. That's exciting. So let's see.
So we had another one come through. Someone said, just to make sure that they didn't miss something, you're able to schedule when thank you notes can be sent, or you can send them automatically, or is it just a save feature? Do you mind running over how the thank you notes can be sent and scheduled?
Yes. So thank you letters will come in and queue themselves up automatically under pending. Since I just sent them, let's go back to ones that I've already sent. If you needed to resend one for some reason, so let's do this one, and this one. If I go back to pending, I should have 3 more here now. So I can go through and adjust them. They don't get sent automatically. We want to give you the opportunity to screen them in case there's something that maybe you wanted to adjust. For example, in this one, there was an edit made to the donation. So it's letting us know you probably want to take a look at that one before you go and send it. Likewise with the emails, the thank you letter emails, the confirmation is automatic. So that will go out immediately whenever a credit card is charged. But that's just a confirmation letter, and you can customize what that confirmation letter looks like. So if you wanted to add more thankful language to that, you could, but we recommend still going the extra mile and doing that additional thank you, whether that's email, snail mail, both, or neither, and those wait in the queue for you to do.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that question. One more right before we wrap up, because I know we're at time. How can CRM connect with maybe like some marketing platforms, like someone asked about Constant Contact for newsletters?
Yeah, great question. So let's see, what would I do here? I would probably start by going over to donors and contacts and view my contact listing, and I would run a query for the people who I wanted to reach out to. So maybe I wanted to send an email to my last year, but not this year donors, or maybe I wanted to do something totally new. And I could say, show me all my contacts where the value of, let's try general ledger is, oops, not that one is equal to, oops, unrestricted. And of those gifts that are unrestricted, I only want to see where the, oh no, I want to see, no, that's good. I think I like that one. There's 20 people. That's a good list. So we'll go ahead and save and preview that one and say unrestricted donation. Donors who gave unrestricted donations. Crate builder. So these are my donors who've given unrestricted donations. And then I would go ahead, download this file. And that's going to come up with an Excel file that I can feed right into Constant Contact or MailChimp. And if I wanted to, it's also going to include additional information. I know sometimes you can pull different fields. So maybe if you wanted to reference the total amount that they've given in your email, you do have those details within the file.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I think that is it for questions, because I know we are out of time. But I will go ahead and share my screen back just to wrap us up. So thank you everyone for joining us today. It's time to say farewell, but please use the end of webinar survey that you'll see when you close out of the webinar to share your feedback with us and request contact if you want to learn more. And thank you again to everyone who joined us. Thank you, Nikki, for your expertise and for showing us the donor CRM and giving us some donor management best practices. Thank you, Richard, for helping us out on the back end with everyone's questions, and we will see everyone next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.